Hello, everyone. My name is Federico Toledo, and I'm so glad to be here at this event and also sharing the virtual scenario with my friend Matias Fornara. We are part of Abstracta, and we've been working in software testing for several years, and particularly in test automation, which is the main topic we want to address today. I think we all agree that in order to deliver at speed, controlling risks and costs, we need to include automation in our test strategy. And we need to be effective and efficient. And for that, we have to take care of its quality. We want to share some of the strategies we apply in Abstracta when helping different companies with their testing and test automation efforts in order to improve and keep the quality, the maintainability, and reduce the flakiness of their test scripts. We've been applying these strategies with different tools, for example, with Selenium, WebDriver.io, and Test Team, but they can be applied to any other automation tool as well.
Review your test strategy and ask questions to keep it relevant. For instance, how are we defining what to automate? And even more important than this question is, who is involved in making this decision? It's super important to ensure a fluent communication between product owners, developers, testers, and automators. It's key that we know for sure that we're taking the best approach we can when it comes to deciding what to automate and what not. Are we giving tools the right usage? As automators, are these tools helping us to give visibility to our work? Are they enough? Or these tools are simply hindering our workflow? Are we paying attention to these tools as a team? Or we can give them a better usage than what we're doing? Speaking of tools, let's talk about our most fundamental tool, our framework, and in particular, about how it's documented. I think we all know our documentation communicates, but it also facilitates our project to scale. That is why it's so important that we document certain key aspects of the framework, such as the setup of the project, the execution of tests, the environments we're using, the way we generate reports, or any technical aspect that we might have already resolved in the past and that we know for sure that could be an issue for the next automator in our team. So we need to document that piece of information. And I would like to take this a step further by saying we shouldn't be the target audience of that documentation because we created it and we are maintaining it probably. So the target audience should be any person in our team that could use our framework in the future.
The second point we wanted to mention today is that we need to coordinate the manual efforts with the test automation. We need clarity in the role that test automation plays in our test strategy. There are different models that can be useful to revise your test automation strategy. And I want to mention one that I learned from Erica Chestnut when I interviewed her last year for Quality Sense podcast. And basically, the focus is on trying to avoid duplications. Let me give you a very simple example. Imagine with the login functionality, we have a unit test verifying that I cannot log into the system with an incorrect password. Then I have the same test, but at the API level. And then I have a Selenium test verifying that a user cannot log into the system with an incorrect password. And on the top of that, in every release, there is a tester running this specific scenario. So we are wasting a lot of time because we need to be more coordinated. And if we decide to do this, to repeat the same test idea in different levels, it should be with intentionality because we want to try different aspects of the same feature, but it shouldn't be by accident.
We need to be aware of a quite simple concept, and that is our automation framework is a piece of development, so much so that it generates its own technical debt. So what is that telling us? Well, basically that our automation code needs to be treated as the code of our application under testing. And what does that mean? Well, it means using the same tools and practices that we will use for the development team, but with a special focus on automation. And you may be wondering how to do it, and there are several things we could do. For instance, having guidelines publicly available for the whole team. It could be in the form of a manifesto or an article or a post in an internal blog or whatever you find convenient while it is available and reachable for the whole team. And what we think we could include or should include in this guide, well, a section advocated to version control, where you should put how to handle a proper branching strategy, considerations to be taken before creating a pull request. It could be like all the tests should work, there should be no linter errors. Then where those changes are going to be merged and what kind of CI process needs to be triggered after those changes get merged. A best practice section, including what we should have in mind when it comes to developing. For instance, naming conventions for branches, packages, classes, operations, and even variables. What type of design patterns we could use apart from page object and screenplay. Serious emphasis on having a dry code. That means don't repeat yourself. And by last, practices we would like to avoid, like certain type of selectors, usage of sleeps or bosses, basically anything that we wouldn't like to encounter when we review merge requests. Another practice that we should adopt is peer reviewing. It's important that we don't only see peer review as a practice of just capturing errors in an early stage, but also as a key part of the learning process of the whole team. Because not only junior automators can learn from the reviews of a senior automator, but also senior automators can learn from how other colleagues resolve similar issues.
And last but not least, actually for me, this is the most important point, it's related to how we form teams. I heard many managers saying that their business is really complex or the technology or something, so they can only work with experts. And for me, I don't know, I don't buy it. Here's our proposal. Consider hiring interns or junior testers, because in this way you will have a team of people really engaged, because you are giving opportunities that other people are not offering them. So they will be injecting a lot of positive energy in your team, giving a fresh view on the different aspects and contributing in so many ways. And also you will be contributing to the field, not only to your project or to your goals, because there will be in the future more people with experience thanks to your decision today. Also need some experts in your team in order to define the guidelines and to mentor the more junior testers. But they will also be more motivated because they will be helping others by teaching them. And in this way, you will have a more diverse and more engaged team to succeed in your business.
That's all I want to share with you today. We really hope you can help your business with your automation efforts. Please do contact us through LinkedIn or Twitter. We are really looking forward to connecting and continuing this conversation. Thank you very much for watching.